Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa!
This is Sierra Halseth and her boyfriend Aaron Guerrero, laughing and joking, while on the run for a horrific crime they had committed just days prior. In 2021, 16-year-old Sierra Halseth had begun dating 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero, but within weeks of dating, problems began to emerge. Sierra's parents were divorced, but they both agreed she needed to break up with Aaron, which is what Sierra told her parents she did. But a few weeks after this, Sierra's dad, Daniel, went missing, failing to show up for work or answer any phone calls, leading to Sierra's mother, Elizabeth, reporting Daniel missing.
He's been missing for 2 days. His work's called, his family's called, I've called, his ex-wife's called, and there's nobody answering the phone. I know there's something very wrong going on here.
Daniel's friends went to his house to check on him, which is when they made a shocking discovery.
There's a dead body in the garage we just found.
Daniel's life had been taken with a blade, and he had been partially burned. His car was also missing, as was his teenage daughter, Sierra. Police immediately began investigating, and before long found this eerie surveillance camera footage showing Sierra and her boyfriend, Aaron, purchasing a circular saw, lighter fluid, bleach, gloves, and a drop cloth, items that were used to end Daniel's life. Despite the crime taking place in Las Vegas, Sierra and Aaron had actually fled to Utah. They had stolen Daniel's credit card, making it easy for police to trace their location. But while on the run, Sierra and Aaron recorded a haunting video where they laughed and joked around about what they'd just done.
Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa! Don't put that on camera.
According to the autopsy, Daniel had 70 knife wounds, which makes this cheerful video even more sinister. Soon after it was filmed, Utah police swooped in, arresting Sierra and Aaron, who had been driving her father's car. The couple pleaded guilty to murder, arson, and theft, and were sentenced to 22 years to life in prison. In court, Aaron did apologize, while Sierra showed no remorse, making her one of the most feared kids in US prison. But an even scarier kid couple in US prison is Travis O'Brien and Nicole Jackson. On June 1st, 2021, 12-year-old Travis O'Brien and 14-year-old Nicole Jackson had an insane shootout with Florida police.
Put the guns out now!
Travis and Nicole had been staying at a home for troubled kids, which is when one day they broke into a neighboring house and unfortunately found the homeowner's firearms: 2 shotguns, an AK-47, and a handgun. The 2 kids then took the guns outside, and when cops arrived, Nicole said to Travis, "I'm going to roll this down like GTA." Nicole and Travis then began firing shots towards the cops, causing police to duck for cover. Because of their age, police decided not to shoot back.
Alright, let's not engage them anymore, let's not challenge them, hold behind hard cover, we're just gonna hang out here.
The police were terrified, with one officer praying things wouldn't go badly.
Don't let me do this. Don't do this.
After a 30-minute shootout, the kids surrendered, with Travis walking out with his hands up.
Rescue's right here at the community center, I had them.
Get your hands up!
Stop talking.
When Travis was read his charges, he seemed remarkably calm.
You're also charged with attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer.
Many pointed out that he looks like a kid in school sitting in the principal's office, when in reality, he had just tried to end several cops' lives. In 2023, Travis O'Brien, who was then 13, was sentenced to 8 years in prison, meaning he'll be out when he's 21. And Nicole, who was then 15, was sentenced to 20 years in prison, meaning she'll be locked up until she's 35 years old. You may think Travis and Nicole are bad, but they've got nothing on these 2 kids. This is Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale. In 2022, these 2 16-year-olds from Iowa were given a bad grade by their Spanish teacher Nohema Graber. In response to this, Willard and Jeremy hatched an evil plan. The teens waited in a park, where they knew Miss Graber walked every day after school. They then used a baseball bat to end her life, and used a wheelbarrow to move and hide her body. Disturbingly, Willard and Jeremy planned the entire thing on Snapchat, documenting exactly how they took Miss Graber's life. Unsurprisingly, the teens were not criminal masterminds, and were soon arrested for what they'd done. In court, they said Miss Graber's low grades were lowering their GPAs, so to help their chances of getting into college, they decided to end her life. To normal people, this seems insane, but in court, they showed almost no remorse. Willard Miller was sentenced to 35 years to life, while Jeremy Goodale was sentenced to 25 years to life. Some said these sentences were harsh, as they were only 16 at the time, but in the words of the judge, evil does not have a birthday. But two boys who are even more evil are the Beaver brothers. In July 2015, 19-year-old Robert Beaver and his 17-year-old brother Michael committed a crime that shook the nation. The two brothers wanted to become famous killers, so hatched a plan to end their entire family's lives. Using knives, they first ended the life of their mother April, before doing the same to their father David. Out of Robert and Michael's 5 younger siblings, only 2 survived: Crystal, who was injured but lived, and Autumn, who was not harmed. Robert and Michael fled the scene, but using a canine unit, police soon tracked them down. Both brothers were given a life sentence. The family's home was knocked down and made into a memorial for the family. While in prison, Robert tried to end a guard's life, making him one of the most feared teens in US prison. But someone even scarier than these brothers might be Alyssa Bustamante. Everyone thought Alyssa was a normal 15-year-old girl from Missouri. That was until October 21st, 2009. She lured her 9-year-old neighbor Elizabeth Alton into the woods before using a blade to end her life. She was soon arrested, and when Alyssa told police why she did this, they were stunned, with Alyssa saying she did it for the thrill of killing. On her MySpace profile, she listed killing people as one of her hobbies. After her crime, she wrote in her diary, "I just killed someone. Now they're dead. I don't know how to feel at the moment." Despite only being 15, Alyssa was tried as an adult and was sentenced to 60 years to life, meaning Alyssa will never see the outside world again. Another very scary teen girl in prison is Heavenly Arroyo. When Heavenly was only 15 years old, she ended the life of Ana Vasquez Rodriguez, who was her great-uncle's girlfriend. Heavenly had been living with her great-uncle and Ana for some time, but Heavenly and Ana would often argue. On October 6, 2019, Heavenly waited until her great-uncle had left the house, and then ended Anna's life using a pair of scissors, all while Anna's grandson was gaming in the next room, totally unaware of what was going on. Heavenly then tried to cover up the crime, disposing of her clothing, and telling police a masked man had broken in and taken Anna's life. But security camera footage caught Heavenly disposing of her clothing, leading to her prompt arrest. In court, she smiled and flicked her hair, showing absolutely zero remorse. She pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 19 years to life, but it's unlikely she will ever be released. But an even younger killer is Eric Smith. On August 2nd, 1993, in Savona, New York, 13-year-old Eric Smith encountered 4-year-old Derek Roby. Eric convinced Derek to follow him into the woods. Once in the woods, Eric began his attack, ending Derek's life with a rock. After a few hours, Derek was reported as missing, leading to a massive search, where Derek's body was found later that day. Police began their investigation, initially looking for an adult, but a week later, Eric confessed his crime to his mother, who then had to turn in her own son. Despite him being 13, he was tried as an adult. He was sentenced to 9 years to life, and was released in 2022, after spending 27 years behind bars. However, many say because of what he did, he should never have been released. But one kid who will never be released is Lionel Tate. Lionel is the youngest person ever sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. In 1999, when he was 13 years old, he was babysitting his 6-year-old cousin Tiffany Unick. Lionel had been watching pro wrestling on TV and decided to try some of those moves on Tiffany, leading to serious injuries which ended her life. Lionel was found guilty and was given life in prison without parole, but this was later overturned in 2004. But just 1 year later, Lionel was sent back to prison, this time for armed robbery of a Domino's pizza. Lionel was given a 40-year sentence, and he's still in prison today, meaning he's been locked up since he was 13 years old, except for that one short year of freedom he had. Finally, we have to look at Corey Smith. In 2011, Corey Smith's mugshot went viral. He had been arrested for a DUI for the 5th time. Many people, including cops, thought he was a kid, but he turned out to be 29 years old. His license was taken away for 4 years, and he was sentenced to 10 months in jail, but his mugshot continues to go viral online to this day. Do you think kids should ever get life sentences or not? Tell me in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and watch this video next.